Sigmas are some of the most genuine, real, and honest men you could meet, brimming with self-confidence, completely comfortable in their own skin, and it really shows with his blunt and forthcoming nature. If you find it difficult to let people around you know how you feel, then you are most likely hesitant about the validity of your own desires, which is why you struggle to be direct. This makes you a complicated person rather than a straightforward one. But this doesn't mean you have bad intentions, rather, you want to protect the feelings of another person and it feels like the nice thing to do. But is it though? If you're honest with yourself, you'll realize that you are just as concerned about protecting your own feelings. It's natural. No one enjoys an awkward conversation or feeling uncomfortable. When we are around a straightforward person, it's quite a different experience. We know exactly what their desires, concerns, and issues are from the start. They know what they want, and they aren't afraid to be blunt about it. Being straightforward is considered the path to authenticity and self-compassion, and so is one of the most admirable traits that make up the complex persona of the Sigma male personality type. It takes an immense amount of courage to be straightforward, but the Sigma is the type of person to tell the truth no matter what, even if it might hurt people sometimes. But the truth is that being straightforward shows that he cares. It also feels good to get things off his chest, and his directness can help others improve in areas they didn't realize needed improving. There are many perks that come with being straightforward, and it's a quality that is appreciated by many, but few are able to demonstrate it, except the Sigma male who does it flawlessly and enjoys its many benefits. Being direct gives you the courage to be your true self and live your life authentically, and as a knock-on effect, those around you will also appreciate you more for showing them who you really are. And this means they are more likely to listen and respect your opinions. Being straightforward allows you to reflect on your own thoughts and feelings, which gives you a better manner of self-expression. It's more attractive and appealing to be direct as you are setting an example for others, and it creates more interpersonal closeness, which can create an ongoing evolution of healthy, loving relationships. So if you think you could be described as a complicated person and wish to become more of a straightforward type, then just have a listen to the following advice. Firstly, you must understand clearly what you want to say. A Sigma will take the time to process his thoughts and emotions, to clarify exactly what words he wants to use. You can try writing down what you want to say before you say it. You need the space to think, clarify, and simplify what message you want to get across. And when you understand your own thoughts, you'll be in a better position to also share them with other people. Mindfulness is also a key part of figuring out your approach in order to communicate your thoughts and feelings in a direct yet compassionate way. After all, being direct is important, but it doesn't mean that you need to be a jerk about it, and this mindfulness is the reason the Sigma male is so adept at being assertive while still being a nice guy. A cooperative approach, rather than a competitive approach, is the way to go here, and this involves being mindful of the person you need to take aside, with a solution-orientated approach that creates space from conflict and allows you to move forward with the best intentions. And this can involve being patient and waiting for the right moment to implement your directness, or finding an appropriate medium in which to share your thoughts, opinions, or feelings, such as through written or spoken form. This is compassionate directness. Practicing mindfulness and other forms of meditation are tools that the Sigma typically likes to utilize in his life for many reasons, but when it comes to being more assertive, meditation has been found to help build confidence in both work and home life, in addition to a profound, penetrative sense of self-confidence independent of context. Being direct takes up a lot of energy, and one of the best ways to protect that energy is to become comfortable saying no. And that can be achieved or improved through regular meditation practice. Of course, rejecting someone or declining something is establishing a boundary, and although it may seem provocative, it's actually one of the best ways to build and maintain strong relationships. There's a lot of power in saying no, as it's the foundational element of boundary setting, and this is one of the Sigma's fortes that he uses to protect his mental and emotional health, which can be severely impacted by a lack of personal limits. You should be polite yet clear and firm. Which sounds simple enough, but in most cases when clarity and politeness conflict, politeness wins as avoiding offense becomes more important and most people give up on clarity completely. To avoid veering off into ambiguity when you want to speak directly, ask yourself if you are sacrificing clarity for the sake of being polite. To not come across as accusatory, you should focus on your own experience. You should use I statements instead of you. Start your statements with I and direct your focus to your own thoughts and feelings on the matter. For example, instead of saying, "You always expect me to be available to help you with your projects, but you need to find someone else," you could say, "I'm not going to be able to continue helping you whenever you need me to. I have a lot going on in my own life and it's best for me not to take on any more work." Direct yet polite. And all it needs is the simple I. The Sigma is a man of very few words, but the words he uses are well considered and to the point, taking less time and fewer words to get there. You must learn how to be blunt. Don't over-explain your reason for saying no and avoid appearing overly apologetic. Being truthful isn't doing anything wrong, there's nothing to be sorry for. If you can't participate in an event, then it's so much better to say, "I won't be able to join in because it doesn't work for me right now," rather than giving a whole list of reasons as to why you have to decline. Nonverbal communication is just as important, however, which is why you'll find the Sigma male faces the person he's speaking to and maintains eye contact when he's being direct. You should also speak clearly, loudly, and with as much conviction as you can muster. While speaking your mind is important in being assertive, so too is listening to the other person, and the Sigma is a great listener, which is why being direct works so well for him. The objective is to be honest while not forcefully thrusting your thoughts onto the other person, giving them a chance to reply to what you said. Listening may even make it easier for you to get to the crux of it all, as you know that you'll give the other person a chance to respond, so you don't feel as guilty for being straightforward in the first place. Of course, being direct can be easier in some situations than others. It's one thing to tell your friend you don't like his new trainers, but it's a totally different beast to confront a colleague about continuously taking the credit for your work, for example. You need to accept that there has to be an awkward conversation, but it can be especially uncomfortable if you aren't used to being assertive. But the good news is that, like with every skill, the more you practice, the better you become. To start off small, you can wait until the stakes are low to practice being direct if you are new to being blunt. For instance, instead of batting a question like, "Where do you want to go for lunch?" back and forth because you are cool with wherever, state that you'd love to try out that new place downtown. When the waiter asks, "Is this table okay?" you can politely tell them which table you prefer. These small interactions are helpful ways to practice being direct and to help you feel more comfortable to take things further. To make you feel a little bit less anxious about the whole being straightforward thing, it might help to know that research shows that when you think you are being confrontational, you are actually not. A study from the Columbia University discovered that most people grossly overestimate how assertive or aggressive they appear to others. And this is a novel effect that has been dubbed the line-crossing illusion, and it was seen in participants who thought they were being inappropriately brash or arrogant, but the people they were talking to didn't think so at all. Interestingly, the opposite is true for aggressive people, with the study also finding that these participants underestimated their assertiveness. So to sum up, the chances are if you think you are being overly confrontational and you are usually an indirect, polite communicator, then no one else will think so. Much of the Sigma male's success stems from his ability to be so straightforward, as most people prefer when you speak to them directly. Directness corresponds with honesty, and asserting yourself with open communication helps you gain respect from others, even if they don't agree or like what you have to say. And it might be difficult to be straightforward with the truth, especially if it will be painful for someone to hear, but it's much kinder and far more helpful to be direct and to give it to them straight. Practice being direct as often as you can, being as clear as possible with your statements, and you might be surprised at how much people appreciate and respect your honesty. We hope that this Sigma male advice on how to be more straightforward has been helpful and interesting. If you've gotten something out of it, please consider liking and sharing the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turning on notifications so you'll know our future uploads. and we'll see you next time.